going on, guys? It's Jazzy, and today I'm here with Sean O'Malley, also known as The Sugar Show. How are you doing today, Mr. Sean?
I'm doing good. I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. And thank you so much for joining me here on my show.
I'm happy to be here.
So you come from humble beginnings growing up in Montana, a place not exactly known as a breeding hub for UFC fighters. So what was it like for you growing up there, and how did you manage to pursue a path in MMA despite the lack of resources?
Honestly, it just kind of fell into my lap. I was like, I think I was 15 years old, and one of my buddies called and said, "Hey, you want to go check out this fighting gym?" And I was like, "Yeah, sounds good." I loved playing sports, but I didn't like high school. And to play the high school sports, you had to get good grades and be a part of the whole school thing, and I didn't really enjoy that too much. So I was like, yeah, I'll go check out this fighting gym. And it's growing a little bit, but even still, it's not like a hub. So right when I turned 19, I moved to Arizona, which is like the mecca of fighting, one of the best, places in the world to pursue fighting. So, I started training at 16, moved out 3 years later to Arizona and really took it serious.
Especially at such a young age, you were able to tell yourself that you wanted to move and you wanted to really pursue your dreams, no matter what it took. And I'm sure that it must have been really tough for you trying to break into MMA in a place where there were lack of resources or opportunities. I think that's why your story is so inspiring. I
appreciate that. Yeah, for me, I didn't really have a plan B. It wasn't really like, all right, well, if this doesn't work, I could do that. It was kind of like, I wanted to play sports. I wanted to be in the NFL. I wanted to be in the NBA. And I realized, 15, 16 years old, I'm like, all right, that's not very realistic. And fighting just kind of happened to pop into my life, and I was like, okay, well, this is, they have weight classes. I'm a little guy. I'm not going to be in, the NFL or anything, but they have weight classes. I could pursue this, and I was naturally gifted, and was like, all right, this is it. There was no plan B. It wasn't like if this doesn't work, I could fall back and do this. I was like, I'm going to commit to this, pursue this, and even still to this day, I'm still trying to reach my full potential and be as good as I possibly can.
And I feel like that's what everyone can learn from this as well, trying to be the best you that you could be, the best version of yourself, to be said. And yeah, it really shows other people that no matter where you're from, even if you're from a small town or from somewhere that lacks resources or opportunities, that you can really accomplish anything if you just put your mind to it and you put in the work.
And you got to get out of that small town eventually.
Yeah,
eventually. A lot of people get scared.
You can't stay in the same place forever. You have to be able to move around and be able to tell yourself that even if you're going to be uncomfortable in a certain space, you're still doing it for your own good.
Yeah, leaving when I was 19 was definitely tough. I never lived anywhere without my parents, my mom doing my laundry and the dishes and stuff. So, moving and living on my own was definitely challenging. Yeah, I'm still not good at any of those things, but that's all right.
Well, you once shaved your eyebrows for $50 before your UFC debut. So, before we even talk about that, who talked you into that?
That redhead right there. When I first moved down, it was me and him. We got an apartment. I never lived by myself. I was 19 years old. I think he was like 23 at the time. Like he'd done it before. He knew how to do it. And I was very, very, very cheap. I didn't have a job when I lived there. And I'd have sponsors come in every once in a while and just like enough to pay rent, pay the Wi-Fi bill, get groceries. And I was very, very cheap with my money. Like, and so he said, hey, I'll give you $50 to shave your eyebrows. I'm playing Xbox with my buddies. And I'm like, yo, should I do it? And they all said, hell no, that is not a good idea. And I'm like, I'm doing it. So $50, I got a little Chipotle burrito. I think I paid half the Wi-Fi bill, and I was chilling, but it was a horrible couple months. I still went to the gym every day and got the weirdest looks, and people were like, what's wrong with your face? I'm like, it's my eyebrows. And I'm like, that's it. So that was probably, looking back, definitely not worth it.
Well, do you think that was the good luck charm that really started the Sugar Show?
No, I think, there was definitely a lot of luck involved in my career. I think in anyone's super successful career, there's a certain amount of luck involved. But for me, like my first fight on the Contender Series, Snoop Dogg commentated it, and I had a viral knockout, and he just went crazy. Oh, O'Malley! Said it like 40 times in a row, and like that kind of blew up.
Hey, Lil Dicky in the house. O'Malley combination, 3-piece dinner with biscuits. O'Malley! 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 Oh yeah!
I think that was a super lucky part for me to have Snoop randomly commentating my fight and it blowing up. So that was kind of like the first boost.
And I saw the photo online of you not having eyebrows, and I found that hilarious, by the way. So do you think that we'll be able to see you without eyebrows again?
Probably not. You know, I mean, now that I know that you can draw, like someone could actually draw them on pretty decent, like for a certain amount, I would probably do it, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously, we all know that you don't need that $50 anymore.
I would, yeah, not so much.
Well, since becoming a girl dad in 2020, how has fatherhood helped you grow, not just as a person, but outside the cage as well?
Yeah, having a baby completely changed my life. I was 26. It was perfect timing. It was really kind of when I was starting to make real money and became more popular. And it's like it was super grounding and just like this is what I want. I always wanted to be a dad, even in middle school. I broke up with a girl in middle school because she's like, I don't want kids. I was like, we're not gonna work. So I always wanted kids. So when it came around, it was the time I was very excited for it, and it was it was just really good timing for me. She was not planned, so I felt like it was like the universe saying, hey, you know what? Let's settle down in life and just let's keep pursuing this UFC thing, and it worked out perfect. I just had a little baby boy a few days ago, and it's been good.
Oh, congratulations,
Thank
by
you.
the way. And what are some unexpected things that you have discovered about yourself that you've discovered through being a dad?
I mean, just like being patient with the little one is something that you kind of just learn. I mean, you don't have to learn it. You get to learn like patience through dealing with a tantrum and stuff like that. But you know, I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
Well, overall, patience is key for us kids, and I have many siblings. I have 5 siblings.
Oh wow.
So I kind of understand where patience comes in line, but one thing us kids like to do is to keep our parents on their toes.
How old are you?
I'm 15 now. As advice, just like get ready for any kind of surprises that are going to come your way. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, I can't picture my baby being 15. She's 4, and I was just holding her yesterday in bed, and I was like, oh, she just felt so tall in her little pajamas. I was like, no, she's growing up. But I can't. It always trips you out when you have your own kid and you're holding it, and they're so little. You're like, I was this little. My mom was doing the same thing. It trips me out on a daily basis holding my baby. I'm just like, it's so weird how fast kids do grow up. Being a parent is the best thing in the world.
Also, I just want to add on that family makes you rich forever, guys. And I'm sure that you're going to enjoy every step of the way.
I am definitely trying my best, but I've been enjoying it.
Well, you have had some huge moments in the UFC that really put you on the map. So which fight or experience or moment do you feel was the most important or game-changing for you? And how did it shape your journey as a fighter and as a person as well?
Yeah, there's been so many moments like the Eddie Wineland knockout.
He does a fin.
Which was 6 years ago, or no, 5 years ago. It was June 6th, so 2020. So it was almost 5 years ago to the date. That was the first time I colored my hair and had a super viral knockout in the UFC. That one was huge for me. And then fast forward 2 fights, I had another crazy knockout over Thomas Almeida, to where he was on his back and I jump up and hit him, and it was that one viral too. Those 2 moments kind of put me up there. And then I fought Peter Yan. He was ranked number 1. I was ranked number 11. He was very scary, Russian, former world champion. That fight really showed that I'm elite, world class, and can hang with everybody. The next fight, I fight Aljamain Sterling, the greatest bantamweight of all time at the time, and knock him out.
Round 2, Sterling on it.
So it's hard to pick one, which one was the biggest. I mean, becoming world champion in Boston was definitely the most electric and wild, part of my career so far. But there's been so many.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that you can't really pick one because you've had so many amazing moments and game-changing experiences when it came to the UFC. But, if you did have to pick one, why do you feel like those that you picked were the most memorable for you?
Well, if I had to pick one, it'd be the becoming world champion in Boston. Just the arena in Boston was insane. That would be the most electric. It was just you can't explain it. It was something you just had to be there and experience it. But yeah, that would be it.
I'm sure the energy was through the roof.
It was insane.
Well, you worked at a residential home for disabled adults
Yep.
in your younger years. And that was a job that actually helped fund your move to Arizona, like we were talking about earlier, to pursue your dreams as an MMA fighter. So what did that experience teach you at such a formative age?
Yeah, so when I think I was 17, 18 years old. I was working full time. Might have been, 18. That was cool. I really, really enjoyed that. I would go to work 6 to 9 a.m. 6 a.m. we'd get there. It was a group home of 8, from 18 years old to I think the oldest was in their 50s. And we'd pretty much just help them with their day, get their lunch ready, wake them up, help them get their lunch ready. And I'd actually drive them. I'd whip the bus to the job and drop them off, and then come back home. And then I'd, from 9 to 3 I was off, and then from 3 to 8 I'd go pick them back up, and it was cool. I just hung out with them, helped them just do their daily chores, and went on walks, and it was very a rewarding job. It was, if I wasn't fighting, and I had to do something else, I'd probably do something like that, because it was, it was very rewarding, and it was a good time.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you really enjoyed that job. And honestly, I find that great that you didn't let anything hold you back from getting that money that you needed in order to pursue your dreams. And I also want to highlight that leaving your comfort zone and taking that leap to move to Arizona definitely takes a lot of courage and confidence in yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing for me back home. It's like, well, I didn't mind working that job. I enjoyed it, but it's like, that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to work a full-time job. I wanted to do what I wanted to do every single day, and I wanted to train, and I like chilling. I wanted to be able to chill a couple hours a day. That's important. So I was like, I gotta chase this. So yeah, saved up $2,000. I remember driving past this 2006 Nissan Altima. Had $11,000 on the windshield, and I worked full time, and I lived at home, so I didn't have any bills. Saved up money, paid that off, saved $2,000 cash, and drove down, packed up my Nissan, and drove down to Phoenix.
Wow, that's a really great story. And like I said before, getting out your comfort zone, just going to take that leap and moving, shows your courage. And that's something that not a lot of people have, and that's something that not a lot of people can say that they did in order to pursue a dream or pursue a path. Yeah,
so I think it might just be in people, and I just felt like it was in me to go and chase something. I just didn't want to be normal. I didn't want to stay in the small town. I wanted to get out and venture off.
Absolutely. Well, when you're not knocking people out in the octagon, you're on Twitch gaming. How has your video game streaming platform helped you disconnect from the UFC?
I quit gaming. I used to game. I was a heavy gamer, hours a day. I used to game. I used to be on my mind. I'd go to the gym, get home, and all I want to do is game. And I was like, it was too much of a distraction, too much of almost an addiction. So I was like, I gotta get rid of that. I can't be doing that. I was having too much fun. It's okay when you don't have kids, but once you got kids, it's like, all right, let's ditch the games for a little bit. But yeah, I played a lot early on in the UFC. I enjoyed streaming. You get on there, you go live, you see the chat starting to fill up, and you see the regulars in there saying what's up, and it's a community. It's like you're hanging out, but you're not hanging out. It was super fun, and I'll always remember those good old days hanging with the fellas, playing Call of Duty, Fortnite, and streaming. Sometimes you just want to disconnect, and I feel like being able to play with your fans and really connect with them is a way to disconnect and relax. Yeah, for sure. It definitely helped. Those years, it was a huge part of my life. I really enjoyed gaming. It was a great disconnect, but now I have other disconnects, hanging out with the fam, and got a cool property out in Arizona, so it's lots of fun stuff to do. If you could say one thing to your opponent, Merab Dvalishvili, before your big fight this weekend, what would you say? I just feel like I don't have anything to say. I feel like I'm just excited to get in there and stand in front of him face to face and fight. I don't know, nothing to say. And yeah, you gotta let your actions do the talking. Exactly. Well, make sure you tune into UFC 316 this weekend, this Saturday, and it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be a movie. And can you please share some words of motivation to everyone watching my show? Move out of your hometown. All right. Maybe. I mean, it depends where you live. Depends on where you live. Yeah, it depends where you live. Well, thank you so much. And everyone, I'm here with the one, the only Sean O'Malley. And until next time, jazzing out.